If you've noticed that your mornings don't feel the same anymore, if you wake up without that firmness you once took for granted, if your energy feels drained no matter how much sleep you get, and if intimacy feels more like frustration than fulfillment, I want you to listen closely. Many men assume this is just part of aging, that once you hit your 60s or 70s, your body naturally slows down and there's nothing you can do. But the truth is, in most cases, it's not age stealing your strength. It's a shortage of 3 simple nutrients your body desperately needs, but rarely gets in the right amounts anymore. And once you know what they are and how to restore them, you may be surprised at how quickly your energy, clarity, and fuel can sustain that vitality. I'm Dr. Sophia Jain, and for more than 20 years I've specialized in men's health, helping thousands of men over 60 reclaim their vigor, their stamina, and yes, their ability to perform without relying on harsh medications. And what I've discovered is that when it comes to circulation, hormonal balance, and overall vitality, the right nutrition can do more than most prescriptions. Pills can force a reaction, but nutrients rebuild the foundation. Today, I'm going to walk you through the 3 most important vitamins that directly influence blood flow, testosterone, and sexual performance in men over 60. We'll talk about how each one works, why deficiencies are so common, and how simple daily habits can bring them back into balance. I'll also reveal the #1 mistake most men make when they try to fix these issues with supplements. And I'll give you a simple routine that can fit into any man's life, no matter how busy or tired you feel. Now, let's start with the first vitamin, the one that quietly governs blood circulation, stamina, and even mood, yet is missing in nearly half of older adults. I like to call it the ignition switch for male performance. I'm talking about vitamin D, sometimes nicknamed the sunshine vitamin, but in reality, it's much more than that. Without it, your blood vessels lose flexibility, your nitric oxide levels decline, and your ability to generate strong, lasting erections takes a serious hit. I'll never forget a patient named Harold. He was 68, a retired school principal, sharp-minded, funny, and deeply frustrated. He sat across from me and said, "Dr. Jain, I want to be close to my wife, but I just can't make it happen anymore. I feel like a part of me is gone." He had tried different pills, none of them gave him more than a temporary effect, and the side effects left him worse off. When we checked his labs, his vitamin D level was critically low. We worked on correcting it with safe daily sun exposure, a high-quality vitamin D3 supplement, and small dietary changes. Within a few months, Harold told me he was waking up with natural firmness again and that his energy for daily activities had doubled. He didn't feel broken anymore, he felt alive. That story isn't unusual. In fact, more than 40% of older adults are deficient in vitamin D, and many don't even know it. This deficiency quietly sabotages circulation because your body needs vitamin D to help release nitric oxide, the molecule that signals your blood vessels to open and allow blood to flow freely. Without enough of it, your circulation slows, energy fades, and intimacy becomes difficult even when the desire is still there. What makes vitamin D so important is that it doesn't just affect one system. It strengthens bones, boosts immune function, supports mood, and most importantly for men, it allows blood to move where it needs to go when you're aroused. Erections are fundamentally about circulation, and vitamin D is a cornerstone of that process. So, how do you restore it? Start by making sunlight part of your routine. Even 15 to 20 minutes of morning sun on your skin can help your body manufacture vitamin D naturally. Combine that with foods like salmon, sardines, tuna, egg yolks, and fortified dairy. And if you live in a northern climate or spend most of your time indoors, a daily vitamin D3 supplement can be a game changer. I've seen men who could barely finish a short walk suddenly regain stamina, men who felt like intimacy was behind them return to full strength simply by correcting this one deficiency. It's not about turning back the clock, it's about giving your body what it's been asking for all along. But circulation is just the first part of the equation. even if your blood is flowing well, your body still needs energy, clarity, and fuel to sustain that vitality. And that's where our second vitamin comes in, the one I call the energy generator. Let's talk about that next. Now let's move to the second vitamin, and this one is all about energy. If you've ever felt like your body is dragging no matter how much rest you get, if you sleep a full night but still wake up groggy, if your mind feels cloudy and your stamina fades too quickly, chances are you're running low on vitamin B12. I call this one the energy generator because without it, your system simply cannot produce the fuel that powers your muscles, your brain, and, yes, your sexual performance. One man who stands out in my memory is Leonard, a 71-year-old retired firefighter. He had spent his life strong, active, and dependable, but when he came to see me, he admitted he felt like his battery was dead. He told me, "Dr. Jain, I don't understand. I eat my meals, I go to bed early, but I wake up tired, and by midday I'm useless. And when I try to be intimate with my wife, I just don't have it in me." Leonard's blood work revealed his vitamin B12 levels were far below normal, and this explained every symptom he described. You see, vitamin B12 is critical for converting the food you eat into usable energy. It helps build red blood cells, which carry oxygen throughout your body. Without those healthy cells, your muscles tire, your brain fogs, and your sexual organs simply don't get the oxygen they need to function. What makes this especially challenging for men over 60 is that our ability to absorb B12 from food declines sharply with age. Even if you're eating meat, eggs, or dairy, your stomach may not be extracting enough of the vitamin to keep you going. This is why so many men are told their lab numbers look fine, yet they feel exhausted. Traditional tests don't always capture the functional deficiency, and the symptoms are brushed off as normal aging. But I want you to hear me clearly. Fatigue, low stamina, and diminished sexual response are not inevitable with age. They are often signs your body is starved for B12. The solution is straightforward once you know what to look for. High-quality B12 supplements in the right form can dramatically change your energy. The form matters. The cheap versions often sold in bulk use something called cyanocobalamin, which is poorly absorbed, especially in older men. What you want is methylcobalamin, the active form your body can immediately use. For men with severe deficiencies, doctor-administered injections can be life-changing, delivering a quick boost to the system. When Leonard began taking methylcobalamin daily, the transformation was remarkable. Within a few weeks, he reported clearer thinking, stronger energy throughout the day, and, most importantly, a return of interest and performance in the bedroom. His wife even came to thank me personally, saying, "You gave me my husband back." That's the power of restoring something your body has been quietly missing. Now imagine what happens when your circulation is strong from vitamin D and your energy is restored from vitamin B12. You have blood flow, you have stamina, but there's still a third piece of the puzzle, one that protects your blood vessels from damage, supports testosterone, and shields your system from the silent inflammation that robs men of their vitality. This third vitamin is often called the fertility vitamin, but its role extends far beyond reproduction. Without it, your masculinity itself begins to fade. Let's talk about that now. The third vitamin is one I like to call the defender, because it protects the very systems that keep a man strong and vital. I'm talking about vitamin E. Many people think of it only as something for skin health or fertility, but for men over 60, it plays a much deeper role. It is a natural antioxidant, which means it neutralizes the oxidative stress that quietly damages your blood vessels, weakens your testosterone production, and makes it harder for your body to recover. I remember a man named George, a 70-year-old retired pilot, who came into my office looking both frustrated and defeated. He told me, "Dr. Jain, I exercise, I eat clean, but I just don't feel like myself. My drive is down, my strength isn't what it used to be, and honestly, I feel like my masculinity is slipping away." George was disciplined. He wasn't careless with his health, but what he didn't realize was that years of stress, processed food, and aging had created a silent deficiency in vitamin E. When vitamin E is low, your blood vessels stiffen, your circulation weakens, and inflammation creeps in. Erections are not just about desire, they are about healthy blood flow, and when those vessels can't expand properly, performance suffers no matter how much you want it. Beyond circulation, vitamin E is essential for testosterone balance. Low testosterone doesn't only affect the bedroom, it alters mood, motivation, and even the spark that gets you out of bed in the morning. Without protection from vitamin E, testosterone production declines faster than it should, leaving men feeling older than they are. The good news is that vitamin E is one of the easiest to restore when you know where to find it. Almonds, sunflower seeds, olive oil, avocados, and leafy greens like spinach and Swiss chard are rich natural sources. Many men benefit from a high-quality supplement, but here again, the form matters. Natural vitamin E, labeled as D-alpha tocopherol, with a full spectrum of mixed tocopherols, supports the body far better than synthetic versions, which are cheaper but incomplete. George committed to adding vitamin E-rich foods into his meals and taking a natural supplement daily. Over time, his energy stabilized, his mood improved, and he told me with a smile that he finally felt like the man in the mirror matched the man in his mind. His wife later told me their relationship felt renewed, not because of a miracle pill, but because his body finally had the protection and support it had been missing. When you bring these three vitamins together, vitamin D for circulation, vitamin B12 for energy, and vitamin E for hormonal protection, you create what I call the vitality triangle. Each one supports the others, building a foundation where blood flow, stamina, and testosterone all work in harmony. Men who focus on just one may notice some improvement, but when you put them together in balance, the results multiply. I once worked with a man named Alan, 68, who had been taking vitamin D for years, then added B12 when fatigue set in, but he didn't feel truly restored until he included vitamin E. That's when things clicked. He described it as finally running on all cylinders again. And that's the beauty of synergy. These nutrients amplify one another, helping you feel clearer, stronger, and more capable in every area of life, from the bedroom to the boardroom to the backyard with your grandkids. But here's the catch. Even though these vitamins can change your life, most men never see the benefits. Why? Because they're making a common mistake that cancels out their progress before it even begins. I see this mistake constantly in my practice, and if you're not careful, you could be making it too. Let's go into that next. Now let's talk about the number one mistake most men make when they finally decide to do something about their energy and performance. I've seen this mistake ruin progress for hundreds of men, and it always leaves them thinking nothing works. The mistake is believing that just popping any supplement off the store shelf will fix the problem. The truth is, not all vitamins are created equal, and the wrong form or the wrong dose can leave your body no better off than before. I'll give you an example. A man named Gerald, 73 years old, walked into my office carrying a bag of supplement bottles. He spread them across my desk and said, "Dr. Jain, I've been taking all of these for months, but I feel no different. I'm still tired, my mind's still cloudy, and my mornings are no better than before." When I looked at what he was taking, it was clear why nothing was changing. Most of the products were cheap synthetic forms that his body couldn't properly absorb. Take vitamin B12, for instance. The most common form sold in discount stores is cyanocobalamin, but many older men can't convert that form into the active version the body needs. It passes right through you with almost no benefit. What you actually want is methylcobalamin, the form that goes straight to work in your cells. The same goes for vitamin D. D2 is inexpensive and widely available, but it's far less effective than D3, which is the form your body naturally produces from sunlight. And with vitamin E, synthetic isolates don't provide the full spectrum of tocopherols your body uses to protect testosterone and circulation. Another mistake is inconsistency. Men will take their supplements once or twice a week when they remember, and then wonder why they don't feel any different. Your body doesn't work like that. It thrives on rhythm and steady support. To rebuild circulation, restore hormone balance, and fuel energy production, you need to give your body the right nutrients every single day. Consistency is the difference between minor improvement and real transformation. When Gerald switched to high-quality, natural forms and took them consistently, the change was remarkable. Within a month, he was sleeping more deeply, waking up refreshed, and regaining that sense of masculinity he thought was gone. He didn't need more pills. He needed the right ones in the right rhythm. That's the key. So if you've tried supplements in the past and felt nothing, don't assume your body's broken. Chances are you were using the wrong type, the wrong dose, or you weren't giving it enough time. Think of it like building a house. If you lay one brick every few weeks with cheap materials, you'll never see progress. But if you use strong bricks placed steadily, day after day, the house takes shape before your eyes. Now that you understand the 3 key vitamins and how to avoid the most common mistakes, the next step is creating a simple daily routine. Men often ask me, Dr. Jain, can you just tell me exactly what to do each day? They don't want something complicated. They want something practical, something they can stick with without turning their life upside down. That's what we're going to cover next. A daily vitality routine that's simple, realistic, and powerful enough to bring your energy, confidence, and performance back to life.
Now, let's put everything together into a simple, realistic daily routine you can actually follow. The truth is, most men don't need dozens of pills or complicated regimens. What they need is a steady rhythm that nourishes the body every single day without adding stress or confusion. Here's what I often recommend to men in their 60s and 70s who want to restore circulation, energy, and performance. Start your morning with a glass of water, not coffee. Hydration first thing in the morning helps your body absorb nutrients better, and it wakes up your digestive system. With breakfast, take your vitamin D3, preferably with a source of healthy fat like eggs, avocado, or olive oil, because vitamin D is fat-soluble and absorbs best this way. Midday, usually with lunch, is the perfect time for your vitamin B12. It keeps your energy steady through the afternoon, prevents that sluggish crash, and supports your nervous system when stress tends to creep in. If you're taking the methylcobalamin form, it's highly active and will go right to work, fueling your cells and protecting your brain. In the evening, take your vitamin E with dinner. This timing works beautifully because it pairs with healthy fats in your meal and supports recovery overnight. Vitamin E defends your testosterone and circulation while you rest, making mornings stronger and more reliable over time. That's it. 3 simple steps woven into the rhythm of your day. It doesn't feel like work, it feels like living. And that's the point. Restoring vitality doesn't have to be complicated. It has to be consistent. To make this work long-term, I also encourage small lifestyle shifts that magnify the effect of these vitamins. Get outside for at least 15 minutes of natural sunlight whenever you can, even if it's just walking to the mailbox. Move your body daily, whether it's light stretching, a short walk, or resistance training a few times a week. Prioritize quality sleep because deep rest is when your hormones reset and your circulation repairs itself. And never underestimate the role of mindset. Believing you can improve is the first step to actually doing it. I'll never forget one of my patients, Robert, who told me at 69 that he felt too old for change. He had already convinced himself that his energy, his drive, and his mornings were gone for good. But once he gave his body the right nutrients, built a steady routine, and took back his health one step at a time, his whole perspective changed. He told me, Dr. Jain, I feel like I got 10 years back. That's what I want for every man listening. So remember this, 3 vitamins, D, B12, and E, are not magic pills, but they are powerful tools when used correctly. They restore circulation, rebuild energy, and protect testosterone. Avoid the mistake of using cheap synthetic forms. Stay consistent with your daily rhythm and combine it with a lifestyle that supports your body. Do this, and you'll be amazed at how much stronger, sharper, and more confident you feel, no matter your age. Your body is always working for you, but it needs the right support. Give it what it's missing, and it will give you back your vitality, your performance, and your confidence. That's the real secret to aging like a man who still wakes up ready to take on the day.